How you doing, Jerry? Unmute.
How are you, Saul?
Okay, how you doing?
Well, we're in the midst of high holiday season. It's always a little bit crazy for me, but it's good. It's good. It's all good. You know,
How did the Rosh Hashanah service go?
it went okay. We got we got an okay an okay turnout on Erev. And then for the daytime services, we did better. We got a lot of people on Zoom. We still got a lot of people on Zoom, so that worked out okay. Um, it's okay. It's been okay. It's just this is a lot of stuff, as you know very well. Everything gets squashed into a certain space of time, and it just every time you turn and if you're like I'm still working, so
Yeah.
I run to this and I run to this, and then we got service on Friday night, and then we got Hebrew school on Sunday, and we got so it's like, oy, it's okay. Murray, you look very cowboy-like.
Yeah.
Yes.
David, how you doing, David?
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a full cowboy regalia today. Cowboy from like the period of 1900,
Wow.
because I'm going to sing two songs from Oklahoma.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm looking the part.
This is this is. Do we have to do this now? Do we have to dress for the songs that we sing? Oh no.
Not
Oh
necessary.
no. Oh no. Oh my God.
I'm always dressed for the songs I sing. I'm wearing a shirt.
There you go.
And it says your guitar on it, right? I'm
There you go.
playing my guitar.
Oh, well, what it actually says is I may look like I'm listening, but in my mind, I'm really playing my guitar.
Ah,
Ah.
okay.
I think you have to move your camera, Javi, a little this way because Pat is only half in the picture.
He always does that.
Well, just because she left all this space
You,
betwixt
you
us.
got you got all room yet, so
There you go.
that's three quarters.
I
Of,
leave the space so you can have your
try
guitar.
to get her a little more in the picture.
There you go.
You have
Okay,
to be a little closer anyway.
a little better. Yeah. Okay.
My
How you
grandkids
doing?
bought me a my
All
grandkids
right, you
bought
just
me a
have to look
T-shirt
at
that
this
says,
And make
I,
sure
I,
you
I
can
don't need therapy. I just need to play guitar.
See anything.
They figured it out. They're young, but they figured it out. See?
I can see me completely.
Oh, how excellent. Oh, look, my recording is paused.
Is what?
All right, while we wait for this to start, I'm going to use the little boy's room.
I didn't see the video. Well, how was the crowd last week?
The crowd was thin.
Yeah.
How
We
thin?
weren't 10.
Huh?
We were done rather quickly.
Yeah. We got it all done in an hour.
Well,
No, it was an hour and a half, but it was.
couldn't get a minion.
Yeah, I was away in the Finger Lakes area, and I didn't have access to a computer, so I wasn't.
You weren't there. You weren't there the week before either.
Oh no, because I was busy, making plans for the vacation.
Uh,
So I didn't have, and that was the last minute, so I didn't have time for that.
how, how did the trip go?
The trip was very nice. We saw, we went through the Watkins Glen, but we went backwards because if you go from the main entrance to the west, you got to go up about 850 steps or something like that. So we did it backwards. We took this shuttle bus from the main entrance to the upper entrance in the west, and then we walked backwards. So
That's how I did my tours originally, because I had old people on my tours. I'd take them up on the bus to the top, and they walk to the bottom.
yeah, that's what
I
we
had the
did.
cardiac contingent with me, 80 and above.
Well, I'm in that group now, so that's what I did.
Me too.
And Yeah, it was very, I took a lot of pictures, and we also went, one day we went to Corning Glass,
Yeah.
very beautiful to see. And one day my son went to, he went to the casino there. I forget what it's called.
Where? In which city?
Huh?
In which city?
I could look it up, but I forget 1 minute.
I didn't
Hold
know there was one over there.
on. Where was it?
Lashana Tova, Sal, and the rest of you who are Jewish.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Anyway, I forgot, I have it somewhere, but I forgot what the name was. It's, oh, I think it's called, they have, as well as casino, I think they have a racetrack there too.
It's not. That's the one. It's not the Oneida one. It's not the one up on Oneida all the way up near the way. It's not the one, huh?
I forget,
Turning Stone.
they call it the gaming and racetrack or something like that. I don't remember.
I don't know that one.
So I didn't go that day, but I went, he dropped me off at the Rockwell Museum
Uh,
in Corning.
uh,
And I saw, they have artwork only by American artists, including Native Americans. Some being old, and others contemporary.
Yeah.
And one day we went to the golf course, and what else did we? Oh, we took a boat ride on the Seneca Lake.
like Captain Bill. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I used to do that all on my tours. Do you know Taconic Falls? You know the very high one.
Where in Watkins Glen?
It's near Ithaca.
I don't know. No, we went to several places where they had falls,
Yeah.
including where was it?
So Ithaca has around 7 waterfalls itself within the town.
Yeah. Well, Watkins Glen has 18,
Mm.
18 or 19, I don't know. And we saw a few other ones too, but yeah, it was a nice trip altogether.
Murray,
Yeah.
I have a question. The suspenders and the hat, does that indicate your songs today are all cowboy songs?
That's right. Except they're not truly cowboy songs.
You should really have a neckerchief on.
Neckerchief, yeah. I couldn't find. I have some at home, but I couldn't find any that match my shirt and my pants. So
They're supposed to match?
I just, well, I don't know. I just felt it looked better on TV that way.
Before we start,
The
I have
Gilbs
a
won't be
question.
here today. They're traveling to Memphis today. The Gilbs, they won't be here. And Donna told me she has laryngitis, so she won't be here.
Before we start, I have a question for Lonnie. A couple weeks ago, you did that sacred chicken song, and that's yours, isn't it?
Oh my God, I hate admitting to writing anything. There are 8 billion people on the planet now, and I'm reasonably certain that one of us wrote it.
All right. Well, there's a line toward the end that I couldn't figure out what you were singing. There ain't nobody being right at seeing sickened song.
Oh, let me think here.
The previous line is,
And
so
if
if you're
you
wondering
wonder-
why I'm singing crazy chicken songs, there ain't.
There won't be no one bitching about it being sick and wrong.
Being stinking wrong. The
Being
word
sick-
stinking, I didn't. Okay.
sick and wrong. Steve, you got to give me a chance here. I still don't have any teeth, but in 3 weeks.
Okay, that's fine. Also, this time of year, I like to sing about peace, and there's our very popular Hine Matov, but I like to think out of the box and request permission to put Latin lyrics in Hine Matov. All they mean is peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Okay, good.
I'll do it.
Permission denied.
We'll take it
And
under
then
advisement.
the Latin root
You're not in
languages.
charge tonight, Harvey.
Oh, wait, I'm not in control this week.
Yeah.
I mean, Jews and Christians alike pray for peace.
Right. You can use any language that you want over here.
Okay.
How about foul language? So
No.
We've had a few little of that too, occasionally. When I make the YouTube thing, I put it's not for kids. I check that box. Okay, we have a minion already, but there's another 5 minutes until 2 o'clock. So
So Lonnie, I see that you're there and you're connected electrically. Does that mean that the hurricane didn't blow you all away?
you won't believe this, Harvey. It's so unbelievable. I'm going to have to tell you about it. You know, my power goes out between 4 and 6 times a week. Okay, we all know that. Actually, I was the only person, and I looked at the charts in the Ocala National Forest who actually had power throughout the entire storm. I'm not lying. This is the truth. It did not-
This reminds me of my house over here because we have lost power on sunny days with a light breeze.
Yeah,
Suddenly the power goes down and it's gone. But there was not a glitch during the hurricane.
I don't know what happened. I think Ron DeSantis overlooked me.
that's because you're the only Democrat in the Ocala National Forest.
I don't want to die here.
We got 12 already. We're doing well. But we still have another 4 minutes until 2 o'clock. So we'll wait till the starting time.
Excuse me.
He lives in my houseboat.
Well, he used to live on a houseboat. I don't know if he still is. I don't think he does anymore.
I think he does.
He
The
goes
guy's
on a
supposed to
whole-
come today to put up my sukkah, so in the middle he may start to talk to me in the middle of the jam. But Faye will be able to handle it, I think. Okay, we got a good crowd, right? So as I told everyone, the Gelbs are in Memphis on the road trip that they postponed for 3 years. And also Faye and I last Thursday got the 5th COVID shot for Omicron. So in another 2 weeks we should be good to go out into the world.
Are the Gelbs visiting Graceland?
Yes, they are. That was one of their primary goals, to visit Graceland.
Oh.
Susan is a big Elvis fan.
Ah, right.
Elvis was a strange fellow. Some of the stuff he wrote was like very hard to understand. Like one of the songs was, "Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends think I'm acting as wild as a bug. I'm in love. Oh, I'm all shook up. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, hey."
Lonnie, Elvis, his songs.
Did Elvis write his own material or not?
I
No,
don't
he did
think-
not.
Oh, he didn't.
No.
Elvis had the luck of, really good luck because he ran into an expert marketer.
Yeah.
Well,
And All Shook Up doesn't go very far musically.
No,
but he had a very good voice. I didn't care for Elvis because it was the beginning of rock and roll, and I was into folk music and other things like I'm going to sing today songs from a Broadway musical,
right.
Oklahoma, if you can't tell by the outfit.
Well,
But when I heard Elvis later on, I saw he really had a good voice. He was a good singer.
Elvis was helped along by his good friend Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, on occasion, yeah.
You know, Murray, when I was in high school, we had to pick a play in the library and read it. And I picked out a play kind of at random called Green Grow the Lilacs.
Yeah.
And I read it. And after my analysis was over this. She asked me what I thought, and I said that I thought that it was absolute proof that the music was the only reason Oklahoma was a hit. Because the play itself is crap.
Actually, Oklahoma added another thing to the United States, because if it were not for the cowboys in Oklahoma and the ladies of the evening in New Mexico, there would never have been any Texans.
And Oklahoma spurned one of our most famous baseball players, Mickey Mantle's from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And also Woody Guthrie.
Oak City, yep,
You're right.
Well, let's not forget about Garth Brooks.
they do. Steakhouse called
They
Mickey
have a
Mantle's.
steakhouse.
Okay, 2 o'clock is upon us. Here is the order of performance. Everybody please pay attention and write it down. Jerry is number 1. David, number 2. Maury, number 3. Pat and Harvey, 4 and 5. Steve, number 6. Bob Winkler, 7. Mike Reeves, 8. Lonnie, 9. Kathleen, 10. Bill Pardon, 11. And Debbie and Ron, 12 and 13. And I always go last. So I'll repeat it one more time. Here's the order. Jerry, David, Murray, Pat, Harvey, Steve, Bob Winkler, Mike, Lonnie, Kathleen, Bill, and Debbie and Ron. And joining us now is Anna and Ray from England. So let them come in, and they'll be after Debbie and Ron. Okay. Let's let them fully come in. Okay, Anna and Ray, welcome. Okay.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Hello, nice to be back. We
you'll
missed
be
you.
you'll be after Debbie and Ron. Okay, they were
Okay.
Fantastic. All right.
and then I go after you. So, with that, let's start. Jerry, take it away.
Okay. I just
Everybody
want to
else,
note.
Please mute.
I just want to note that I did not get the memo about the dress code. I did not know it was Cowboy Day. You're letting us down, Saul. You got to let us know what the dress code is. All right, Ron, this one's for you, baby. In the key of A. Okay. And Shana Tova to all to whom it applies. Some bright morning when this light is over, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have gone, I'll fly away. Like a bird from these prison walls I'll fly. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Oh, how glad and happy when we meet. I'll fly away. No more cold iron shackles on my feet. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joys will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I said when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Fabulous.
Thank you. I promise I'll wear the right clothes next time. I promise.
Thank you so much. Okay, David.
Okay. Jerry, that was terrific. Boy, does that bring me back. And thank you for playing that. And I really hate to go on after really talented people. But I'm going to play a song that my wife has. Is the guitar okay? And you could hear me all right? Yeah? Okay. This is a song my wife asked me to learn. And this is the first time I'm playing it in front of anybody. So. Got my mind set on you. Got my mind set on you. Got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. But it's gonna take money. A whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time to do it right, to do it, to do it, to do it, to do it, to do it right, child. I got my mind set on you. Got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. And this time I know it's real. The feelings that I feel, I know if I put my mind to it, I know I really can do it. I got my mind set on you. 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 But it's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time to do it, 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 to do it right. I got my mind set on you. 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 The feelings that I feel, I know if I put my mind to it, I know that I really can do it. But it's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time to do it, 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 to do it right. I got my mind set on you. 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 I got my mind set on you.
Right, what song?
Rich Harrison.
Beautiful song. Okay, Gordon McRae, are you ready?
Thank you.
Who did you say? Gordon McRae?
Yeah, he was the starter of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
I call you Curly.
Right. Although there's not much to curl up there anymore. Okay. So as Saul indicated, I'm taking the place of Gordon McRae, who played Curly in Oklahoma. And I'm going to sing two songs today from Oklahoma, and that's why my regalia is Western here. Actually, I think the time of the place, the time of the story of Oklahoma is about, I think, 1900, just at the turn of the 20th century. Or it could be, I don't know, it could be the late 1890s. Because at that time they started wearing this type of curled cowboy hat, which before that, in the heyday of the cowboys, they didn't wear. They wore more of a flat type of hat. And it was only like in the 20th century that this type that you saw in all the movies, which was incorrect really for the time they were portraying, which was usually the 1870s and the 1880s. This style was incorrect for that. And this style really came in the late 1890s and really grew prominent in the 1900s. But anyway, the play Oklahoma, as Mr. Mintz said before, comes from the play which was Green Grow the Lilacs, and which comes from the song Green Grow the Lilacs, which was earlier than the play. But anyway, the song is about cowboys and ranchers versus planters, farmers. So I decided to wear the style of clothing that they wore in that period. And the first song I'm going to sing is "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning," which is one of the introductory songs in that play and the movie, of course. All right. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Really lovely.
So much. And now, Pat, are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, Murray, just for your information, since at one point in the show Oklahoma, they're talking about as they do an introduction to the song Oklahoma, they're talking about gonna be living in a brand new state. That puts it in 1907 when they were admitted. Just that little historical point.
All right, the song is Boots Are Made for Walking, sung by Nancy Sinatra. You keep saying you've got something for me, something you call love but confess. You've been a messin' where you shouldn't be a messin'. Now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah. You keep lying when you ought to be truthin'. You keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be a changin'. Now that's what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing. You keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches. Oh yeah. And what he knows, you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, boots? Start walking.
Wonderful.
Oh my.
Great, guys.
I had to duck under the couch. I thought you were coming right out at me.
Thank you very much. It's a fun song.
Harvey.
So this is quite a bit of a change of pace. It's a song by Patrick Sky called Jimmy Clay, a little on the somber side. When you walk down the street, we'll follow you. 6 o'clock, it's getting late. The moon, it is rising as the sticky dew molds on the ground by the gate. With your rifle on your shoulder as you walk along, listening to your boot heels hit the sod, smoking your cigar as you hum a song, thinking of your mother and your God. Ah, but you're alone, Jimmy Clay. You smoke your cigar and earn your pay. And 15,000 soldiers are marching by your side. Still you're alone, Jimmy Clay. Remember New York town, good New York town. Friends, the drinks, cops in a hall, and them whores that took your money when you couldn't stand. All the hard nights you can't recall. And remember Alice Faye, good old Alice Faye. She'd been through life at least 10 times around. And when she said she loved you, well, she meant it, boy. Remember the night you nearly drowned. Ah, but you're alone, Jimmy Clay. As you smoke your cigar and think of yesterday. Well, yesterday don't matter when it's gone away. Where did it go, Jimmy Clay? So as you lie there in the mud, who will talk to you? Nobody, Jimmy Clay, for when you're gone, mankind follows after you. Doesn't it, Jimmy Clay? And your face is growing moldy where they kissed your cheek and said, please die for us, Jimmy Clay. And so you died a soldier and a hero's death. Congratulations, Jimmy Clay. Now you're alone, Jimmy Clay. You can smoke your cigar. You've earned your pay. And somewhere in the distance, you can hear the fiddle play. But not one note will change, Jimmy Clay.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you so much. Now, Steve.
This is my High Holy Days medley. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. That we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. That we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanyenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanyenu, Ki ein banu Asay manu tzedakah v'chesed. Asay manu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshi'enu. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day.
Oregon, Bob Winkler.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm back after COVID, and it's good to be here. Seem to have some kind of a voice back. So I'm going to do something by Arizona's cowboy from Glendale, Arizona. Something I've wanted to do here for a while. Hands that are strong but wrinkled, doing work that never gets done. Hair that's lost some of its beauty by too many hours in the sun. Eyes that show some disappointment, but there's been quite a lot in her life. She's the foundation that I lean on. My woman, my woman, my wife. Every day has been uphill. We climb, but we can't reach the top. I'm weak and I'm easily discouraged. She smiles when I want to stop. Lips that are weary but tender, with love that strengthens my life. A saint in a dress made of gingham, my woman, my woman, my wife. Two little babies born in the spring, but died when the winter was new. I lost control in my mind and soul, but my woman's fate carried us through. When she reaches that river, Lord, you know what she's worth. Give her that mansion up yonder, 'cause she's been through hell here on earth. Lord, give her my share of heaven, if I've earned any here in this life. 'Cause God, I believe she deserves it. My woman, my woman, my wife. Marty Robbins song. Pretty good guy.
By the way, the vocals could be a little clearer. Okay, it's a little muddled. Not very much. We were able to hear you. We were able to understand, but usually you have a little more clarity in the vocals, which has it's not nothing to do with you. It's the microphone. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Good to blame it on the mic
Okay. No, it's not you. I know that. I know it's
or the internet
yeah.
or the COVID.
Okay, then. Now we're going to England. Mike Reeves, are you ready for us?
Yeah. Now I might be a bit not too clear tonight because Bill and Kathleen know I've been ill with a chest infection, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, bully boys of Liverpool, I'll have you to beware that when you're aboard a packet ship, no dungaree jumpers wear, but have a big monkey jacket always at your command, for there blows some cold nor'westers on the banks of Newfoundland. We'll scrape a ram, we'll scrub her with holy stone and sand, and say farewell to virgin rocks on the banks of Newfoundland. One night as I lay in my bunker dreaming all alone, I dreamt I was in Liverpool, away up in Marylebone, with my true love there beside me, and a jug of ale in hand, when I woke broken-hearted on the banks of Newfoundland. So we'll scrape her and we'll scrub her with holy stone and sand, and say farewell to virgin rocks on the banks of Newfoundland. So now it's reef and reef, me boys, with canvas frozen hard, and it's mountain pass every mother's son on a 90-foot topsail yard. Never mind your boots and oilskins, but haul or you'll be damned, for there blows some cold nor'westers on the banks of Newfoundland. We'll scrape her and we'll scrub her with holy stone and sand, and say farewell to virgin rocks on the banks of Newfoundland. And now we're off the hook, me boys, and the lands are white with snow, but soon we'll see the pay table and spend all night below. And on the docks come down in flocks, them prettiest girls will stand, saying snugger with me than it is at sea on the banks of Newfoundland. So we'll scrape her and we'll scrub her with holy stone and sand, and say farewell to virgin rocks on the banks of Newfoundland. The banks of Newfoundland, which I've picked it up from Cricket, but that isn't his version of it.
Thank you, Mike. And now back to Lonnie in the Ocala National Forest.
Ah, yes, the beautiful, wonderful Ocala National Forest. Here we are. Well, it's been a hurricane week, so I figured I'd better do a song that has at least something to do with hurricanes. I have a lot of experience with hurricanes myself. It started out in 1955, going to Liberia after we had been on leave on a ship called the Del Oro, and we managed to get a bit of the hurricane that was that year, and that was Hurricane Janet. I remember standing on the bridge of the ship and looking up at the wave tops, so it was a wee bit rough out there. Then in 58, I was on another ship, and it was the Fastliner United States, and we were going from New York to Southampton. And rather than taking the customary 4 days, it took 7 days that time. And the SS United States had, her bow was 100 feet high, and there was green water breaking over the bow and washing all the way back to the bridge. The officers of the ship confined everybody to their cabins for 3 days because it was so rough that no one could walk. Then in 1979, there was Hurricane David, who went up the coast of Florida, and I spent the hurricane, which didn't really amount to all that much, thank God, cross-tied in a canal in Lighthouse Point. Then in 1987, there was Hurricane Floyd, and that hurricane pretty much came up Overseas Highway in the Keys, And that hurricane we spent in the mangroves in Sisters Creek in Marathon. So that was pretty safe too. Then, of course, there was 5 years ago, there was Hurricane Irma, and we spent that one on the boat anchored out. And I used to have videos and pictures of all these trips and everything else, but Hurricane Irma kind of fixed that for us. It destroyed everything inside the cabin because when the forward windows blew out, we took on a lot of water. It blew 120 all night long, and I can tell you right now it was really bloody rough. And the other thing it did was it destroyed one of my 2 engines, and that cost $22,000 to rebuild. So that was the most expensive hurricane. And then, of course, there was Andrew, and we spent Andrew on the anchor in Lantana, right off of the old house there. If any of you guys have ever been up to Lantana, you'll know where that is or was. And it didn't blow much from the hurricane, but we had a tornado. And my schooner was 65 feet on deck. She was 70 feet overall. And when the tornado hit, it knocked us down on our side. The mast was in the water. It was that bad. And yeah, so that one wasn't any fun either. So anyway, I thought, well, this is the perfect time to do a song about hurricanes. And this is a song called Trying to Reason with Hurricane Season. I have to hold the guitar in a little bit of a weird way because Tyrion, who's my best friend and a Chihuahua, is in the process of sleeping on my lap. So there he is right down there, good old Tyrion. And here we go, Trying to Reason with Hurricane Season. Squalls out on the Gulf Stream, big storm coming soon. Passed out in my cockpit, gotta slip the way past noon. Stood up and tried to focus, I hoped I wouldn't have to look far. I knew I could use a Bloody Mary, so I rowed ashore to the bar. And now I must confess, I can use some rest. I can't run at this pace very long. Yes, it's quite insane. I think it hurts my brain, but it cleans me out and then I can go on. There's something about this Sunday, it's a most peculiar grace. Strolling down the avenue, it's known as A1A. I was feeling tired and I got inspired. I knew that it wouldn't last long. All alone I rode back home, sat on my boat and made up a song. And now I must confess, I could use some rest. I can't run at this pace very long. Yes, it's quite insane. It hurts my brain, but it cleans me out and then I can go on. I had to let him down.
but it cleans me out and then I can go on. Well, the wind is blowing harder now, 50 knots or thereabout. The spindrift on the ocean, and I'm watching for water spouts. It's time to close the hatches. It's time to go below. In a week I'll be in West Palm Beach. That's a mighty long sailboat ride. And now I must confess, I could use some rest. I can't run at this pace very long. Yes, it's quite insane. I think it hurts my brain, but it cleans me out and then I can go on. Yes, it cleans me out and then I can go on.
Trying to reason with hurricane season. I had to put the dog down in the middle of the song. I guess he didn't like the storm.
By the way, Lonnie, the instrumentation was drowning out the vocals. You needed a little more volume in the vocals for next
You know
time.
what? I was too far back. I was too far back from the microphone because I was trying to give Tyrion some room.
Okay, thank you so much. Now back over to England. Kathleen, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm only going to do one tonight. I've still got a bad sort of tight chest, and so I'm hoping I'm going to get through this one. Right, this is a song by Cindy Khaled, and there's a little. So I found this little note at the beginning. It said she was doing a teaching songwriting to a small group of children, and she took a word out of the box. That was her inspiration words. So she took one word out of the box and went outside and wrote this song. And I think it's a very, very simple to play, but it's a lovely song. It's called Once. And I've got ticket. There's an online. There was a concert on last. It was 2:00 in the morning here when it was on, and I bought a ticket to watch it on Zoom. So I shall be watching that tonight. I haven't watched it yet, but that she was in yesterday, so I'm looking forward to. So I hope my voice doesn't disappear halfway. Once I grew brown and covered with fur, and waited for old and long and winter. Once I heard welcome and won't you come in, and waited for old and tired and frail. Once I felt even and straight and true, and danced with evil, laughed with blue. Once I knew mountains and stars and fly, and whistled with red tails in the sky. Once I felt soft in root and stone, and called moss and leafy fern home. Once I traced shadows in the sky, and into clouds of dreams. Once I grew round and covered with green, and waited for new and soft and spring. Once I felt skyfly split and death and birth, and tasted the cool, sweet, strong brown earth. Once I knew nothing and moon and time, and listened to dark wood and river rhyme. Once I heard words as sacred, and I do now know the soft name of singing. Once I curled soft in root and stone, and called corn moss and leafy fern home. Once I traced shadows in the sky, and into clouds of dreams. Once I grew brown and covered with fur, and waited for old and long and winter. Once I heard welcome and won't you come in, and waited for old and tired and friend.
Now, Bill, looks like you got a
Right,
hand, right?
yeah, not for the first time. I'll take a leaf out of Lonnie's book and go back to the hurricanes theme. I'm glad to see everybody that I know of from your end came out unscathed. I know Bob and Sue are okay because Sue tells you everything on Facebook. So Lonnie was the one I was nervous about, but he's still there smiling, so that's not bad, is it? Yeah, this is one of the few songs I can remember exactly when I wrote it. And I very recently stumbled across a recording, a duo who was singing in the Oxford Folk Weekend last year. They had a full set, but they included one of mine in their set, and I didn't know. I knew they'd taken the song on as part of their four-piece band, but that one took me by surprise. The only people that might know the duo is Anna and Ray. I don't know if you know John and Di Cullen from Kent. You do, yeah. They ran Nellies for ages and sing some very good songs. So if anybody like that wants to sing one of your songs, then, you know, something's all right. But anyway, I normally do it accompanied with a guitar, but seeing as I haven't got that, I'll just do what I can with it. And it's the reason I wrote it, we had a charity fundraiser, and in May of 2008, there was a horrific cyclone. It still rates among the one of the worst in living memory of natural disasters, and it was Cyclone Nargis, which made landfall in Burma, as it was then. Absolutely devastating. The sort of death toll's gone up and up. I think in the end, United Nations agreed it must be at least 200,000 loss of life, and all the rest of the devastation that followed. But the thing that did set this slightly apart from a lot of the other natural disasters was the fact that help was there. In fact, George W. was pretty quick off the mark, offering all the various food and medicines and people on the ground to actually help alleviate what was going on. But of course, they had the military junta there, and
for a week or more, nobody was going to go anywhere. And eventually they did accept a bit of aid, the dictators in Burma, but they still wouldn't allow any foreigners to come in and help. And they lost at least a week of valuable time just stalling while they were arguing the toss over it. And that was where the hurricane itself was, or the cyclone was a really devastating thing, but it was the response which was certainly lacking somewhere down the line. So, as I say, I'll do what I can with it, but you clever guitarists can make your own chords up as you go along, because I had to sort of write it fairly quickly because of needing to get the charity fundraiser on the go, and people were actually, raising money left, right and centre to try and relieve things, but they just couldn't get it in the right direction. But yeah, I based it roughly on something along the lines of a lullaby. So I've got an old demonstration CD set to the Turalura lullaby, but you could put the chords for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, anything you fancy. So I'm going to do it in the key of E because that's the first one I picked up. It should work, but we shall see anyway. And this was all about Cyclone Nargis, and back in the days when Burma was Burma and did their own thing. There's a little child in Burma sits crying on a hill. Little child is hungry. Little child is ill. Never heard of McDonald's, never had a happy meal. He's just a cyclone child. Little child picking through the rubble and the bricks. Might find something useful he can fix. He never knew anything about power and politics. He's just a cyclone child. Oh, it's a funny way of living. Should I laugh or should I cry? So many people giving. Seems like a funny way to die. Don't worry, we got ships standing up off your shore. Don't worry, we got food and medicines galore. Such a shame that our leaders won't talk anymore. Tell that to the cyclone child. And if you don't want our help, that's for you to regret. There's lots of other letters in the victim's alphabet. We can move down the line and we'll soon forget. Poor little cyclone child. It's a funny old world we live in. Don't ever ask the reason why. Can there ever be any forgiving when you'd let the little children die? Well, I never want to preach to you about East versus West. I never did believe that one side knows the best. I see them that's got it all cheating them that's got less. And the cyclone child is crying, while dictators speak out with their venomous prose. The prime ministers and the presidents are how they posture and pose, wearing their democracy like the emperor's clothes. And the cyclone child is dying. Oh, it's a funny way of living. Should I laugh or should I cry? With so many people out there giving. Just seems a funny way to die. It's a funny old world that we live in. Don't even ask the reason why. Can there ever be any forgiving if you'd let your little children die? No, there can never be any forgiving. You let those little children die. That's it.
That's a really good song, Bill.
I don't normally get rated as a songwriter. They were very kind when they spoke about me there, but I normally have to go to places like Faversham and Great Bardfield to actually get taken seriously as a songwriter, you see.
Thank you so much, Bill. Debbie and Ron.
Bill, you bring me back to the days when Burma was Burma and a shave was a shave. At this point, I feel it incumbent upon me to remark upon the fact that it's tough. This is a tough session. David is not here. He left early, but as he said, it's very tough following somebody with exceptional talent. And the problem is every one of us has that problem here.
Yeah.
Although it is a little extra tough to follow Jerry. And today we got to follow Bill Pardon. So
Right.
Don't complain.
Right.
Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music is the only kind of life you'll never understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music. You'll never make a wife to a home-loving man. A home and little children mean nothing to you. A house filled with love and a husband so true. You'd rather have a drink with the first guy you meet in the only home you know, the club down the street. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music is the only kind of life you'll ever understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music. You'll never make a wife to a home-loving man. dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music. It's the only kind of life you'll ever understand. Dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music. You'll never make a wife to a home-loving man. And that was supposedly written by A.P. Carter.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't? Well,
Well, that's what somebody said, and we researched it. It was Joe. Let me
Joe
see.
Maphis?
Joe Maphis.
Oh, I thought it was the other way
whatever.
around.
It is
Okay.
not a new song. It's an old country song.
What do I know?
All right, so now Ron's going to play the bass, so I got to get up here. Watch that thing there. Okay. All right, so maybe you can see it back there. All right, so here's the next dim song. All right, now
Yeah, that
listen.
sounds like Chinese food, right? Dim
Nah,
sum? Dim
all
sum?
right. All right, let's see if I remember it. Okay, this is a Richard Thompson song. I have not sung in a long time.
Hold on, Deb. I'm trying to get the note here. Oh, I'm all over the place.
Well, we did tune it yesterday.
I have to keep it detuned or it'll fall apart over time.
Yeah.
I only tune it up when I use it once in a great while.
This old house is falling down around my ears. I'm drowning in a river of my tears. With all the will is gone, you hold me sway. I need you at the dimming of the day. You pull me like the moon pulls on the tide. You know just where I keep my better side. But days have come to keep us far apart. A broken promise or a broken heart. Now all the bonny birds have wheeled away. I need you at the dimming of the day. Come the night, you're only what I want. Come the night, you could be my confidant. I see you on the street in company. Why don't you come and ease your mind with me? I'm living for the night we steal away. I need you at the dimming of the day. I need you at the dimming of the Lovely.
Now it's over to England, and we're Anna and Ray. We're very happy that you find some time for us. I know you're very busy between live gigs and the Model Railroad shows. And we're so happy whenever you can show up. We really appreciate it. So, give us
And
good talent today, which you always have.
actually, this time last week we actually had a recording session because the guy who is helping us record is also very busy. So we have to sort of our schedules hit a gap in very few places, and so we just have to grab them. Okay, we're going to do a song by Ray's cousin David Edgington, called The Morris. And if anyone's got handkerchiefs they'd like to wave. And in fact, if anyone has room to dance, please feel free to do that too. Wooden clocks, bells and tattered coats, squire is calling, time is right. Racers, baldricks, waistcoats, breeches, rosettes, kerchiefs, hats on tight. Come you all, the sides are gathering, come you all, the time is near. Come you all, the squire and bagman, Morris, time is here. Raise your hands to pipes and fiddles, beat your drums and ring your bells. In its white and rainbow glory, feel the joy and dodge the fools. Come you all, the sides are gathering, come you all, the time is near. Come you all, the squire and bagman, Morris, time is here. Sticks or handkerchiefs, some with beasts or blackened face. Waiting in anticipation, dancers set to fix the pace. Come you all, the sides are gathering, come you all, the time is near. Come you all, the squire and bagman, Morris, time is here. To the Cotswold style, they dance in time some regimented, history preserved with a smile. Come you all, the sides are gathering, come you all, the time is near. Come you all, the squire and bagman, Morris, time is here. Come you all, the sides are gathering, come you all, the time is near. Come you all, the squire and bagman, Morris, time is here. Many thanks for the singing along and a little bit of playing along and definitely waving along. We enjoyed that. Thanks, Bill.
You got one more.
Okay, complete change of pace now. This is a song that came into being not that long after we watched the refugees and the people leaving Kiev, getting onto their buses with their little bags and trying to get either away from the danger zone or sometimes, in some cases, towards it. And really, it's not specifically about that war, it's about any war and the sorts of sadness and dislocation that come from people having to leave the places and the people that they love. And it's called Say Goodbye. And as Ray reminded me...
Can't get the staff, you see. He just can't get the staff.
I need a squeeze box for this. Right, here we go. standing in the hallway and I'm talking to my brother. I'm staring at my mother, not knowing what to say. Tears are in her eyes and my body gives a shiver. I'm thinking of forever without them in my life.
I'm leaving from the station at 11:15. My mother left at 7 before the break of day.
They're queuing in the streets now, with one behind the other. A small bag filled with precious things is all we take away. There's a feeling in my heart. Lives are torn apart. It's a sunny day with light that floods the sky. Say goodbye. We need to say goodbye. We're trying not to cry. Are we saying our last goodbye? I've lived in this old farmhouse all the years I can remember. It's freezing in December, but I've never wished to roam. And my grandparents before me, through so many generations, now I'm standing in the station, and it's farewell to my home. There's a feeling in my heart. Lives are torn apart. It's a sunny day with light that floods the sky. Say goodbye. We need to say goodbye. We're trying not to cry. Are we saying our last goodbye? Our train pulls from the station to a secret destination, to fight for all humanity who feel the way we do. It's hard to think about the lies that are fueling all this hatred. The people in high places deciding things for you. There's a feeling in my heart. Lives are torn apart. It's a sunny day with light that floods the sky. Say goodbye. We need to say goodbye. We're trying not to cry. Are we saying our last goodbye?
really enjoyed that song.
Thank you so.
Yeah, Anna and Ray. Wendy, are you going to perform for us today?
Depends on how long. How can I put this?
Depends
I
on
have
when.
another call at 9:30. So if you ask me in between, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want you to miss the first turn, and
Oh, I see.
the end of the first turn. So if you want to do it now, we're all
It's entirely up to you.
okay. Go now. It's
I'm just a little disorganized. Put something else on for a minute, and let me find the things I need.
okay. I'll go first, and then you'll go
Okay.
right after me. Okay, Wendy?
Yep.
Okay, then. Okay. I really enjoyed Anna and Ray's last song about saying goodbye, and along the same theme, I'm going to do something that is also about someone who said goodbye. You all remember Dr. Zhivago and the movie that they made with Henry Fonda after the after the novel, the movie, and that year it won all the Academy Awards for everything, including Best Song. The only problem that they had originally was that when the music, the soundtrack to Dr. Zhivago was made, there was no words to the song. It was called Lara's Theme. So originally, someone named Maurice Jarre, he wrote the music, which was a very, very beautiful melody. And Paul Francis Webster put the words to it, which they had to put in once the song was nominated for Best Song, someone had to sing it. So, and Andy Williams was the one who recorded it. So it's called Lara's Theme of Somewhere My Love. So, somewhere, my love, there will be songs to sing, although the snow covers the hope of spring. Somewhere a hill blossoms in green and gold, and there are dreams, all that your heart can hold. Someday we'll meet again, my love. Someday, whenever the spring breaks through, you'll come to me out of the long ago, warm as the wind, soft as the kiss of snow. Lara, my own, think of me now and then. Godspeed, my love, till you are mine again. Someday we'll meet again, my love. Someday, whenever the spring breaks through, you'll come to me out of the long ago, warm as the wind, soft as the kiss of snow. Till then, my sweet, think of me now and then. Godspeed, my love, till you are mine again. Thank you. Wendy, are you ready now for us?
Well, I'm closer to ready anyway.
Okay.
I've been singing this a lot lately because I keep reading the news headlines, basically. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears while we sup sorrows with the poor. Though they're okay, maybe I have been singing it a lot, but I don't remember the words anymore. I think I've used them up. Though their voices are silent, their pleading eyes will say, oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Though we seek truth and beauty in music light and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading eyes will say, oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a frail fainting maiden who toils her life away with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her heart would be merry, she's sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Tis a song that is whispered around the watery grave. Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. Tis a song that is murmured around the watery grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more.
By the way, what's the weather in London now, Wendy?
It's trying. It's sort of half warm, half chilly.
Okay, rainy or sunny?
Well, it
Some
was
of each.
sunny today, but it chills down quite a bit in the evening. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do tomorrow.
Okay.
But who needs rain when we have an insane prime minister and an insane chancellor? I mean, the political weather is bad enough.
Yeah, all over.
London then.
Okay, with that we've completed one round and ready to begin the second one, and that means Jerry, are you ready?
All right. I do want to mention, I'm really glad to see that the Florida folks are all doing okay. We have a dear friend that lost her home in Sanibel, and nobody even knows when she can get back to retrieve her personal items. There's no way to get there, but hopefully all are doing well. This traditional tune that was recorded in 1941 by Woody Guthrie, then in 1942 by Josh White, and then by Leadbelly in 1944 and again in 1948. Later, it was recorded by the Weavers and Joan Baez and Dave Van Ronk and whatever, and it became what is considered by many to be the very first folk rock hit. Okay, the tune was a traditional tune. Actually, was later used very interestingly by the Blind Boys of Alabama to do a version of Amazing Grace, which is one of the spookiest things I ever heard in my life. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Very strange, very, very strange. In any event, let's see. A house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many poor souls, and God, I know I'm one. If I'd listened to what my mama said, I'd be at home today. But I was young and foolish, poor boy, let gambling lead me astray. My mama, she's a tailor. She sews those new blue jeans. My daddy, he's a gambler, Lord, drinking down in New Orleans. Fills his glasses and to the brim, passes them around. The only pleasure he gets from life is hoboing town to town. The only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. The only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Mothers, tell your children, don't do what I have done. Shun that house down in New Orleans they call the rising sun. I've got one foot on the platform, the other on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear a ball and chain. My life is almost over, my race is nearly run. I'm going back down to New Orleans, to the house of the rising sun. A house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many poor boys, and God, I know I'm one. And God, I know I'm one. God, I know I'm one.
Hit for the animals over here. Yeah, big hit for the animals over here.
I'm sorry?
Big hit for the animals.
The
over
animals,
here.
right. The animals
The
had
animals, yeah.
their one and only hit with
Yep,
that.
yeah.
One hit wonders again.
Excellent songs. They're one and only number one, I think.
Yeah, it was number one. It was number one. British,
Yeah.
you know, it was a British group that hit it with that song, and for a lot of people, that was the first time they had ever heard the song. You know, it's a really old song, but great tune, great tune.
Well, they thought they were copying Bob Dylan where they'd heard it, but they didn't mention the fact that he nicked that particular arrangement perhaps from Dave Van Ronk. And as you say, Jerry, it goes way back to the beginning, doesn't it? That one.
Yeah,
Good.
it's a really old tune, and I'm sure that I haven't really done that much research, but I'm sure that the melody is really old. I mean, really, really old.
Okay, and with that, Maury, are you ready for us?
Okay. All right.
Everybody else, please mute.
All right. The second song from Oklahoma that I'm going to sing is The Surrey with the Fringe on Top. Curly, what do you call it? Forgot the word for it.
Protagonist?
Huh?
Protagonist?
What protagonist? Yeah, or the hero, either one of the show is after Laurie, one of his neighbors, and he wants to take her out. I forget what he wants to take her out to, some kind of dance or something. But anyway, he comes to pick her up, with his surrey, which is a, horse and wagon, but a very fancy one. And it has, it's decorated with a cover that goes over the passenger and the driver. And the cover has a fringe on it for decoration. So he tells her that he's going to take her away in the surrey with the fringe on top. Okay. When I take you out tonight with me, honey, here's the way it's gonna be. You will sit behind a team of snow white horses in the slickest gig you ever see. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the surrey, when I take you out in the surrey with the fringe on top. Watch that fringe and see how it flutters when I drive them high-stepping strutters. Nosy pokes will peek through their shutters and their eyes will pop. The wheels are yellow, the upholstery's brown, the dashboard genuine leather. With isinglass curtains you can roll right down in case there's a change in the weather. Two bright side lights winking and blinking, ain't no finer rig I'm a-thinking. You can keep your rig if you're thinking that I'd care to swap for that shiny little surrey with the fringe on the top. Would you say the fringe was made of silk? Wouldn't have no other kind but silk. Has it really got a team of snow white horses? One's like snow, the other's more like milk. All the world will fly in a flurry when I take you out in the surrey, when I take you out in the surrey with the fringe on top. When we hit that road, hell for leather, cats and dogs will dance in the heather, birds and frogs will sing all together, and the toads will hop. The wind will whistle as we rattle along, the cows move in the clover, the river will ripple without a whispered song, and whisper it over and over. Don't you wish you could go on forever? Don't you wish you'd go on forever? Don't you wish you'd go on forever and you'd never stop in that shiny little surrey with the fringe on the top? I can see the stars getting blurry when we ride back home in the surrey, riding slowly home in the surrey with the fringe on top. I can feel the day getting older, feel a sleepy head near my shoulder, nodding, drooping close to my shoulder till it falls kerplop. The sun is swimming on the rim of the hill, the moon is taking a header, and just as I'm thinking all the earth is still, a lark will wake up in the meadow. Hush, you bird, my baby is sleeping, maybe got a dream worth a keeping. Whoa, you team, and just keep a creeping at a slow clip clop. Don't you hurry, little surrey, with a fringe on the top.
The surrey with Murray.
They didn't figure that was a good rhyme for that, and they
That's
left
a
it out.
clever little song, though.
Thank you so much, Murray. And now, Pat, are you ready?
Ready? Are we off mute?
Here we are off mute.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do My True Friend by one of my favorite singers.
Did you want that to be full screen?
No. Gosh. So it's by Bette Midler, and it's better with a piano, which is why Harvey's not doing his thing. Penny. Can you hear? Now it's too late to say how you made my life so different in your quiet way. I can see the joy in simple things, a sunlit sky and all the songs we used to sing. I have walked and I have prayed. I could forgive and we could start again. In the end, you are my one true friend. For all the times you closed your eyes, allowing me to stumble or to be surprised by life with all its twists and turns. I made mistakes, you always knew that I would learn. And when I left, it's you who stayed. You always knew that I'd come home again. In the end, you are my one true friend. Though love may break, it never dies. It changes shape through changing eyes. What I denied, I now can see. You always were the light inside of me. I know it was you. I have walked and I have prayed. I could forgive and we could start again. In the end, you are my one true friend, my one true friend. I always knew that it was you, my one true friend.
Thank you, Pat. Now, Harvey.
Now, originally I was going to sing a Phil Oakes song called Changes, which is a prettiest breakup song that anybody's ever written. But after she sang that, there's no way I could sing a breakup song. So instead, I'm going to do America from Paul Simon, speaking of folk rock. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bed, so we bought a pack of cigarettes, Mrs. Wagner pie, and walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said, as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really a camera. Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery. She read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. All come to look for America.
Now, I believe Steve is next.
Yeah. As promised. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבדחים גם יחד. In terra pax hominibus, bone voluntatis. In terra pax hominibus, bone voluntatis. Terra pax hominibus, bone voluntatis. In terra pax hominibus, in terra pax hominibus, in terra pax hominibus, bone voluntatis. Oh, what a world it would be if all men could live as brothers. Oh, what a world it would be if all men could live as brothers. Oh, what a world it would be if all men could live as brothers. Oh, what a world it would be. Oh, what a world it would be. Oh, what a world it would be if all men could live as brothers. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבדחים גם יחד, שבדחים גם יחד.
This is the time of the year where we need peace. Especially we have some madman in Russia who's ready to use nuclear weapons now because the war isn't going his way. We definitely need peace on this in this world. Okay, and Bob Winkler, I believe you're next, right?
Yes, yes. Well, I made some adjustments to the Zoom input, audio controls, and to the Vox amp down here, but I could not make any adjustments to my voice, fortunately or unfortunately. So we'll
Sounds better. It
see
does
how
sound
it goes here.
clearer. You're a little clearer on your voice.
Okay, so I'm going to do a Carter Family song here, and there's the guitar. Well, my heart is sad and I am lonesome, the only one I love. When shall I see her? Oh, no, never till we meet in heaven above. Oh, bury me beneath the willow, under the weeping willow tree, so that I may know where I am sleeping. Perhaps she'll weep for me. They told me that she did not love me, could not believe it was true, until an angel softly whispered she had proven untrue to you. Oh, bury me beneath the willow, under the weeping willow tree, so she may know where I am sleeping. Perhaps she'll weep for me. Tomorrow was our wedding day, but oh lordy, lordy, where is she? She's gone to see another groom and cares no more for me. Oh, bury me beneath the willow, under the weeping willow tree. She may know where I am sleeping, perhaps she'll weep for me. Just bury me beneath the willow, under the weeping willow tree, so that she may know where I am sleeping. Perhaps she'll weep for me. Yes, perhaps she'll weep for me.
Now it's off to London. Not London. It's actually Southend or on the sea. Mike.
Yeah, yeah, Leon C. I am. Yeah, this is a protest song, and it's good, says goodbye. So well, it's in the theme tonight, and it's a girl's song, but this is a version by the Dubliners. So many a young men have said goodbye all that long day, from break of dawn until the sun was high. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. My joy, Jimmy went that day on that big ship, sailed away and left me here to die. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. I met my love along the mountain rim. The day he left, I knew I bore a living child of him. I knew I bore a living child of him. And the child was born to me. Jimmy's gone across the sea. Jimmy's gone, and here alone am I. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. My Jimmy said he'd sail across the sea. He swore his oath he'd sail back home one day and marry me. He'd sail back home one day and marry me. But my Jimmy let me down, now they mock me in the town. Oh my Jimmy, please come back to me. Oh my Jimmy, please come back to me. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. All that long day, from break of dawn until the sun was high. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. They left the mountains and the glens, the lasses and the fine young men. I saw the tears of every girl and boy. Many young men of 20 said goodbye. Many young men of 20 said goodbye.
Thank you, Mike. And now it's down to the Ocala National Forest. Lonnie!
Yo, I'm here. In keeping with the sea songs, there's a lighthouse that's right off of Boston. It's called Minot's Light. And most people don't sit around and think about what lighthouse keepers do during their 8-hour shift or whatever the shift happens to be. And this is about a lighthouse keeper back in 1902. And what he would do is true love was on the North Shore and he was on the South Shore. So whilst making sure that the ships could see the light, he would use Morse code, which probably most people don't even know anymore. But what he would do is he would flash to his lover across the bay, "I love you," in Morse. And so this is a song about that. It's called The Morse Message.
Standing on the North Shore of Boston Bay, eyes are out and the winds are come tonight. It's not been long since I've been out upon the waves, but my eyes are sweeping the sea for Minot's Light. There is an old tale that the old folks used to tell of a lonely lighthouse keeper in 1902. He worked out on the rocks across the water from his home, and he flashed all night to his dear one, "I love you." I'm looking for the eye, I'm looking for the love, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the eye, I'm looking for the love, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the eye, I'm looking for the love, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the eye, I'm looking for the love, I'm looking for you. Down on the South Shore there's a house upon the hill, warm feather bed sleeping through the night. One side lies empty and the wind is shake pulled, but there's a in the eye, I'm looking for the love. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the eye, looking for the love. I'm looking for you.
Lonnie, was that an original?
Like I said, there's 8 billion people on the planet right now, and I'm certain that one of us wrote it.
Okay, thank you so much, Kathleen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't got another song tonight, but I just want to say I forgot to say last time. I wanted to say to Pat that these boots are made for walking for my mum's favourite song. She used to love that. It always makes me think of her when I hear that. And she used to love the end bit. You know, are you ready, boots? She used to love that bit at the end. So she would have loved that to watch you that. But I haven't got another song tonight. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. I appreciate that.
Okay, Kathleen. So now we go to Bill.
Right, I'm dogging Lonnie's footsteps tonight. I'm going to do a sea song for the hell of it. Not quite such a romantic one, though. For the Terry Hiscock Hunter Musket fans, this was a sea song, a traditional song that was recorded by Hunter Musket, I think, in 1970. And I did it some years back now, but at one of the Hunter Musket concerts, because I knew it wasn't on their set list. And Doug Morter, the main man there, was kicking himself after he heard it, because I'd used what was basically the original broadsheet version, one of the sort of earliest recordings of the broadsheet singing. And Doug Morter realised that Hunter Musket's version didn't contain such poetic gems as Upon the 16th day of February, and lines like brackish water, putrid seal, we did all of us fall ill. And I think if he'd realised those words were available, he'd have gone for that version. But there we go, serves us right. This was a true story about some New Zealand sailors who shipped out from Port Jackson, which I think became Sydney Harbour, and they were out to beat up the seals and steal their skins and make fur, and it was a cruel thing, but that was the way of the world in those days. And they got stranded. They didn't get picked up again, and I think it was 2 or 3 years later, after all sorts of adventures, patching up an old wrecked ship and going off to another island. Eventually they got returned. I've got somewhere in the archives the contemporary newspaper reports saying how they all got back and giving you all the facts. The song, though, that went around all the whaling stations told the exactly same story, but just about every fact. I think it was written by Boris Johnson, actually. Every fact was distorted, wrong, twisted for a different purpose, and they could so easily have done the same song by telling the truth, but it didn't really matter because it made a good song. That's what these things are all about. It's the tradition, isn't it? So David Louston, and it was sung to the one of the variations of the Captain Kelly tune. He says stalling for time because you can't think of the first line. Yes, I do. Oh, me name is David Louston, I did seal, I did seal. Me name is David Louston, I did seal. Though me men and I was lost, though our very lives 'twould cost, we did seal, we did seal, we did seal. 'Twas in 1810 we set sail, we set sail. In 1810 we set sail. We were left, we gallant men, and never more to sail again. for to seal, for to seal, for to seal. We were set down in open bay, were set down, were set down. We were set down in open bay, were set down. Upon the 16th day of February, for to seal, for to seal, for to seal. Our Captain John Badar, he set sail, for old Port Jackson he set sail. He said, I'll return men without fail, but she foundered in a gale, and went down, and went down, and went down. We cured 10,000 skins for the fur, for the fur. We cured 10,000 skins for the fur. But brackish water, putrid seal, we did all of us fall ill, for to die, for to die, for to die. So come all you lads who sails upon the sea, sails the sea. Come all you jacks who sails upon the sea. Though the schooner Governor Bligh picked up them of us as did not die, I'm telling ya, never seal, never seal, never seal. That's the moral of me story, lads. Never seal, never seal, never seal. Amen.
Thank you so much, Bill. There's a version of Captain Cook, like with the same melody and also the same thoughts behind it. Okay, Debbie and Ron, I think you're next.
Yeah, we've some Captain
Okay.
Kidd. Captain Kidd's. Okay. All right. Okay. So.
All right, well, I don't know if we've all had Florida on our minds. I know Deb and I have with all this, with what's going on.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law lives in just outside of Tampa, and of course we have friends all around. But just south of Tampa is where it hit the worst, and it went across and over Orlando, where Debbie's cousin lives, and we haven't heard from her yet, so we don't even know.
But the others are all safe, and our apartment down there is safe. But it's been it's been very scary. So we're singing a song about winds here, about Florida, and we like. All right, Harvey did this a couple of weeks ago, and we really liked it, and we liked his version, and we enjoyed it very much, except that we were going to do it that day. But, we've waited some weeks, so we're going to do it today. And I think, Saul, you weren't here then. But
Isn't there a repeat song fee that you have to pay me?
No, I don't think so. But we'll we'll get, when we come down to Florida, we'll work it out with you guys, all right, okay, let's see. What key is this?
Ever since the days of old, men would search for wealth untold. They dig for silver and for gold, leave the home behind. And way down south in the Everglades, where the black water rolls and the soil grass waves, the eagles fly and the otters play in the land of the Seminole. So blow the Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm coming to you like a long lost friend. I know who you are. Oh, blow from the Okeechobee all the way up to Micanopy, all across the home of the Seminole. The alligators and virus came and took its toll. In the name of flood control, they made their plans and they drained the land. Now the big drains are going dry. The last time I walked in the swamp, I sat upon a cypress stump. I listened close and I heard the ghost. Oh, I see old love cry.
Blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long lost friend, but I know who you are. Blow, blow from the Okeechobee all the way up to Micanopy. Blow across the home of the Seminole, the alligators and the gold.
Watch the bluegrass first.
Yes.
Thank you. And now,
What happens when you get nervous?
Okay.
I think that's how bluegrass was invented, by somebody who was really, really nervous.
Okay, so we're gonna do it since we have the bass tuned up. We'll do another one on there. Let us move up here. Okay.
All right, what's the basis for this song, Debbie?
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah.
Basis?
All right.
Get it?
Enough. Quiet. Okay. Yeah, this is
I'm being canceled.
this was a black spiritual originally published by the Jubilee Singers in 1901. But it relates both to the Old Testament and the New Testament, and it reflects the Israelites' escape out of Egypt, and it's also known as an Underground Railroad song. And I'm sure you will know this. It is, let's see what key. It is called Wade in the Water. Where are you? Can't see you. Okay.
No, canceled.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. Must be those children dressed in red. God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. You got to wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Children dressed in white, God's gonna trouble the water. That's the children of the Israelites, God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. trouble the water. Must be the hypocrites turning back. It's gonna trouble the water. Oh, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in gold? Gonna trouble the water. Must be the people gonna see us through. God's gonna trouble the water. You got to wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Jordan River is chilly and cold. It's gonna trouble the water. Chills the body but lifts up the soul. It's gonna trouble the water. Oh, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Thank you so much, Debbie and Ron.
Thank you.
Now over to the other side of the pond and Anna and Ray.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a song by Joan Baez. Sing along if you know it.
Well, I'll be damned. Here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual. It's just that the moon is full and you happen to call. And here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall. As I remember, your eyes were bluer than robin's eggs. My poetry was lousy, you said. Where are you calling from? A booth in the Midwest. 10 years ago, I bought you some cufflinks. You brought me something. We both know what memories can bring. They bring diamonds and rust. Well, you burst on the scene, already a legend. The unwashed phenomenon, the original vagabond. You strayed into my arms, and there you stayed, temporarily lost at sea. The Madonna was yours for free. Yes, the girl on the half shell could keep you unharmed. see you standing with brown leaves falling all around and snow in your hair. Now we're smiling out the window of that crummy hotel over Washington Square. Our breath comes out, white clouds mingles and hangs in the air. Speaking strictly for me, we both could have died then and there. Now you're telling me you're not nostalgic. Then give me another word for it. You were so good with words and at keeping things vague. 'Cause I need some of that vagueness now. It's all come back too clearly. Yes, I loved you dearly. And if you're offering me diamonds and rust, I've already paid. Thank you very much.
Got one more.
And again, now for a complete change of scene, we're going diving with a submersible. This is our song about a team of researchers based at the moment in Honolulu, in Hawaii. And they have remotely controlled robots that can go a couple of miles down and look at the ocean floor and beam what they're seeing directly back to not only the people on the ship, but everyone else in the world who's watching on their YouTube channel. We think they're fabulous. So this song is called Blue Water, and it's got a pretty catchy, easy to pick up, hopefully, chorus. So please sing along if you want to.
Far beneath the sunlit world where salty waves are breaking, far below the crystal blue where gannets dive so free, they seek the deep and silent zone, the dark illuminating, bringing it to light for all to see. It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea.
Try that.
It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea. Down into the deeper world where divers cannot venture, on into the darkness with its mysteries unseen, comes a modern Hercules to photograph and measure, like a real-life yellow submarine. It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea. It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea. And up on deck, the scientists are watching through the telescope. creatures, they may be the first to see.
Connected by technology,
Which weaves us all together, experiences shared by you and me.
it's a long way down
To the bottom of the ocean,
it's a long way down
to the bottom of the sea.
it's a long way down
To the bottom of the ocean,
it's a long way down
to the bottom
of the sea. It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea. It's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean. It's a long way down to the bottom of the sea.
Oh, thank you for singing.
Thank you so much. You two add so much, though, to our sessions. Thanks, and whenever you come, we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'm next because Wendy had to go to another meeting. Okay, first I have to make an announcement. The next 2 weeks, Harvey is going to be hosting. I have Jewish holidays, so Harvey will create the event. I will send out the emails to everybody. And please make sure you keep up the attendance while Harvey is here. Okay, I'm not such a big attraction. We have these performers are here. You don't have to not come because I'm not here. I'm not that big of an attraction, okay? I just try to keep this thing together. So please show up, okay? Harvey will be here for the next 2 weeks. I will be back 3 weeks from today. And Harvey will create a new link. When I come back, I'll create a new link, and Harvey's link will be good for 2 weeks, and then I'll be back after that. So please show up when Harvey hosts, because he really does a wonderful job. I mean, I think he's better than me sometimes, really. So show up, please. Okay, I'm going to do the penultimate. Jerry, are you ready to do the ultimate? Yes, he's ready. Okay. This is a song by Irving Berlin. I know he's not considered a folk songwriter, but he's one of the most prolific writers in among American songwriters. And he's one of the few people who lived and wrote songs about World War I as well as World War II. He lived to 100 years old, so he had a long life. And anyway, this song was from World War I. And Faye and I were retired now, and we like to sleep late. And people who have to get up in the morning, though, it's very hard, it's difficult. And you had to get up in the Army at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the song is, "Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning." The other day I chanced to meet a soldier friend of mine. He'd been in camp for several weeks, and he was looking fine. His muscles had developed, and his cheeks were rosy red. I asked him how he liked the life, and this is what he said. "Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Oh, someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You've got to get up, you've got to get up. You gotta get up in the morning. Oh boy, the minute the battle is over. Oh boy, the minute the foe is dead. I'll put my uniform away and move to Philadelphia and spend the rest of my life in bed. A bugler in the army is the luckiest of men. He wakes the boys at 5 and then goes back to bed again. He doesn't have to blow again until the afternoon. If everything goes well with me, I'll be a bugler soon. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I love to remain in bed, for the hardest blow of all is to hear that bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up in the morning. Oh boy, the minute the battle is over, oh boy, the minute the foe is dead, I'll put my uniform away and move to Philadelphia and spend the rest of my life in bed. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed. And then I'll get that other pup, the one who wakes the bugler up, and spend the rest of my life in bed.
So clever.
Berlin.
I don't think I'd ever heard that all the way through. It's really a clever song.
He was a very clever writer.
Mm.
Okay, so now I see I have a message from Mike which says, please give Harvey my email address. He never sends me anything when I'm away. Well, anyway, I'm the one who sends the emails out, Mike. Harvey is just going to be hosting. I'm going to be sending the emails out, so you will be informed as to what's going on. Okay? Don't worry about that. Okay, so Jerry, take us out.
A little bit of music trivia
Send him the email
before I take you out.
so did not include him in the big list.
You may or may not know that Irving Berlin, nice Jewish boy from the Lower East Side, Irving Berlin only knew how to play on the black keys of the piano. This is true. This is actually true. And he had a piano made for him with a crank on it. So it was like a capo for a piano. And he could play in any key, but still remain on the black keys by just cranking the keyboard back and forth. Doesn't seem to have hurt his career at all. I'm going to play you a banjo tune because you're a captive audience and it's my job to torture you. I don't get to play the banjo very much, and I've said before, I learned this tune from the guy I took my one and only banjo lesson from, Charlie Chin. Charlie Chin was a wonderful banjo player, wonderful musician, who's a terrible, terrible business person. Charlie was a member of Buffalo Springfield and decided they were going nowhere and left the band. And then they hit with their first album. And for those of you who are familiar with that album, there's a tune on there called Bluebird, and that's his banjo playing on that album. But Charlie was pretty liberal in the way that he interpreted these old tunes, and I guess I've inherited some of that. So this is a tune called Black-Eyed Susie. Well, I love my wife, I love my baby, love my biscuits sopped in gravy. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Well, now all I want in this creation's a little wife and a big plantation. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Pick it, boy. Susie went a huckleberry picking, boys got drunk, she got a licking. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, Come on, black-eyed Susie, hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Black-eyed Susie's long and tall, sleeps in the kitchen with her feet in the hall. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie, hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Well, now all I need to make me happy is two little boys to call me Pappy. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me.
Jerry, if you keep talking, you'll be pretty good at that. That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
That's the anthem of the EU.
There you go.
Ode to Joy.
See, a little something for everyone, you know.
Yep,
That's,
Well, I like the way you snuck in old Jerry Clark there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want you to know.
Yeah,
I
we
want you to
recognise
know.
that too. We used to dance to that.
I describe. By the way, I don't usually plug things, but I did a concert set on Zoom last night for the Pioneer Valley Folklore Society. So if you go to their website, Pioneer Valley Folklore Society, you can go to the connection to YouTube. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Would we actually be able to see your fingers and your guitar and banjo?
No, you can't. I promised. I promised
We're
myself.
convinced you just got a recording machine there.
That's true. You know,
no,
funny.
hang on. I see a bit of banjo.
It's funny because
fingers.
in August, Saul knows I did a set at the Philadelphia Folk Festival, and some people in the Philly area who I've sung with on Zoom came just because they wanted to see if I was actually playing. Holy crap, he actually is playing. So you could tune into that, but you know, I said on that set too, the banjo is just a funny instrument. It's just a funny instrument. In many ways, I often say to people, the banjo is what I consider the brigadoon of musical instruments. It kind of appears out of the mists once every 20 years or so, you know. Oh, it's going to be Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, man, I got to get myself a banjo. You know, oh, and now years later it's Deliverance. Oh, I got to get myself a banjo, right? then it's oh, brother, where art thou? I got to get myself a banjo. And all those banjos are hidden away in closets and under beds. You know, it's one of those things. People play it for a while and they go, boy, this is ridiculous, you know. And the problem with a banjo, as hard as it is, and everybody here who plays these kind of instruments, string instruments, are very temperamental. They really are. They move a lot, you know. You've got metal strings and you've got wood moving around. But banjos are really more like automobiles than they are like instruments. You know, they've got all kinds of metal, and they've got skin, and they've got strings, and it's all moving and changing at a different rate. So the weather affects it completely. You know, I had a friend who was a banjo player who used to say, I don't understand what's the matter with this instrument. It was tuned when I bought it. You know, it's like that. So, you know, it really is fun for me to get to play and it's really only every once in a while, because who's going to listen to this stuff, you know, but whatever, there you go. So
I have a guitarist friend who wrote a song about a break-in to his car where a lot of his instruments got stolen, and the title of the song is "All They Left Me Was the Banjo."
There you go. That's right. There's an old. I mean, you know, there are jokes. There are jokes about every profession and everything, of course, right? I mean, I could tell you dozens of really bad lawyer jokes because I'm a lawyer, right? But what they say is like, what's 1,000 banjos at the bottom of the sea? A good start. So, there you go. So in any event, I like Saul will be preoccupied for the next 2 Sundays, so I won't see any of you. It's no knock on you, Harvey, at all, but I got to be at the synagogue. So everybody take care, and as I had said before, you know, very, very, very much Shana Tova, a happy holiday, a good year to all to whom that applies, and to all to whom it doesn't apply, I still apply it.
Right.
Happy holiday to you.
Hey, Jerry, did you hear about the guy who went downtown and made the mistake of leaving a banjo in the back seat of his car when he parked?
There were 10 other banjos there when he came back. I know.
That's right.
Okay, here's one for you. Okay, so there's a lawyer. He's a partner. He's an older guy. He's a partner in a big firm, and he's got this young associate. He's going to take the young associate out for a special day. He takes him out on a boat. They're going to go fishing, deep sea fishing. They go out. The boat starts to sink. Oh my God! You know, they got to jump overboard, and they grab onto a piece of debris, and they're hanging from the piece of debris, and sharks start to circle them. And they're getting closer and closer, and the young guy goes, oh my God, what do we do? And he says, relax. Oh my God, what do we do? Relax. The sharks come up near them, they tip their fins down, and they swim away. He says, what was that? He goes, professional courtesy.
There you go. We have to say good night now. I'm looking forward to a 26-hour fast starting Tuesday night for Yom Kippur. That's no food, no water, and no entertainment, nothing. Okay. So,
have a fast, Saul.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.
I know we won't be here next week either. We have to go and play with trains.
See you back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You show up for Harvey next week.
Anna Ray, see you next month, hopefully.
Yes.
We shall be waiting. Do we get all your new stuff from the latest CD?
Yes.
Do we? Good. Are you bringing Johnny with you to make sure you do it properly?
Oh God, I wish.
Good night, everybody.
Right.
everyone.
Good night.